Hello. Thanks so much for dropping by. As many people tell me, I don't speak loud enough, so I will endeavor to speak louder. I shall. But right now I'm standing very close to this iPad. It's funny, I've been in places looking for external microphones for this, and maybe the thing I need to do is find some Bluetooth something. Anyway, we will continue to search for ways to make things better. Anyway, I found this box in the basement, simply marked PET BBS. And this is not my writing, but I recognize in glancing into it some of the things that are in it. So, it is time to look at these. These things were likely used, or I know they were used, on the Bradley Brothers bulletin board system, which my brother and I ran for a good many years. And while it was not networked as such, we had 4 different lines, and although not connected, they were part of the punternet, so messages could be sent back and forth across the city. And the other cool thing about it is the punternet would call and send messages in the middle of the night, but because one of our lines was in Mississauga, which was local to us, or the bulletin boards are local to each other, the way the punternet worked is other systems that were on the network that were local to Mississauga but not to Toronto, their messages would bounce to our node in Mississauga and then bounce through, and that is how long distance charges were saved for everybody when at all possible. Other things, of course, were that it would call in the middle of the night in the window of the cheapest long distance rates, and it was very quick and efficient, and the calls would be very short. So without further ado, let's look into this box of history. And you know what I think I should do? Ooh, it's heavy. Is I should put this box of history on the floor and take things out. It does seem that some little bits of history have been added over the years. Behold the magic. A 71 Oldsmobile custom cruiser station wagon made by Matchbox. I don't think that is part of the BBS. So, here's a Jaguar. What is this? Ooh, a Volkswagen T2 bus. Just getting this stuff out of the way so I can get to the real meat of the box. What is this? Oh, a Citroen DS. Alright, now, I must be careful. Okay, this came out rather okay. Look, this is a Commodore 8010 modem. It has on the back of it an IEEE connector, because that is what it was. An IEEE PET modem. Here is the power supply. I wonder. It is in the off position. Oh dear. Don't you fall down, little disk drive. Let's just see. Will this plug will fit in. Let's see what happens. Ooh. Well, it does seem This is the, sorry, right now it's off. There's over here there's an OR, and I believe that stood for something like originate. And over here is an AN. I think that stood for answer. And this was state of the art way back when. As you notice, of course, you had to put a phone in here. There was no direct connection to the Bell system or whatever system in the world because, of course, it wasn't allowed. Bell was very protective of its network. It was. So it seems. But I don't just think that was Bell in Canada. I think most places. So that's why modems were like this. Or they were also called acoustic couplers. Let's see if I can get that to stand up. There we are. Acoustic couplers. And this modem, by the way, I've got to do some questions soon about a CBC show called Hide and Seek, based on a book called The Adolescence of P1. And why would I be answering questions? Well, because I was part of that. And, indeed, some of the modem sounds that were heard on that show, movie, television thing, whatever, came from this very modem. Because one day, prearranged and such, the sound man came to my house to get specific sounds and tones and keyboard sounds and other such things, because that's what they do. You see, one of the things people are always asking, well, did this come out before or after War Games? Whatever. I'm not sure of the exact answer. I'd have to look at the dates and such. They were very different movies, though. But they had a sound, some thing when he stuck his thing in the modem, and I said to the people, mainly because probably I was too young and stupid to know any different, although I was there to advise them, that that was not a good, that was not an accurate sound. You know what? I'm not sure if the movie, anyway, regardless of whether I'd heard that stupid sound or not, there were other things in TV shows that were very inaccurate. Like, I think there was something on Knight Rider where this woman has a disc and she says over her phone or her whatever that she's got the memory card, or she's got, just these things where people who were actually knew what with computers were just go, oh my God, what are you doing? So I did not insist, but really help them make sure that whatever they were doing was accurate. So if somebody was out there in the world saying, oh, how do, that's not the right noise, that's not the right thing. There was some artistic liberty, I must say. Because at one point in the movie, and I'll talk about this when I get to it, is that I remember the young guy breaks into the office. He says, I need the speakerphone, or I need the whatever thing, and supposedly somehow he connects that up to a PET so he can hear the voice of P1. Oh, crap, of course. Oh, hello, Penny. How are you doing? Yes, the door is closed at the moment. Did you want to go out? Anyway, enough of that. Let us continue with the box. Aha. Excuse me, honey. Maybe I should not have done that. Okay, so this is a different set of acoustic coupler parts, but, and if I remember rightly, they came from Active Surplus, because for a while Active Surplus had these modems that were well known, and they were called a $28 modem, and at the time this was unheard of, but they were surplus from something. And the thing of it is that when running the bulletin board, you wanted the best speakers and things, and I never did this, but I believe my brother did this, where he used this on this by plugging in to the spots inside where the listening and the talking parts were. I believe. And this could have, I'm sure that, well, it's here. I'm sure it's probably the one he used. Or, let me delve a little deeper into the box. Okay, I must be careful here, because there are things that are attached to each other. Oh yeah. You must be careful. Oh my. Okay, let me just move some things aside here, including, I don't need this. I don't need this plugged in at the moment. Alright, so this in fact, a rig, is the modem. Ah! I wonder if any wires have come off. I don't think so. This would be the modem for sure that my brother used. And the reason I know this, because I never did have this exact, it is an 8010. It is an IEEE modem. It did use the different top parts there. This is, all this rigmarole is to do with the answer circuit, and this, there is a cord that runs into the handset, and also somewhere along here he had installed this basically switch potentiometer thing so he could up the volume. Because it's funny, last week we were talking to in the TPUG meeting that was online, and it should still be at some point accessible. Hello, Penny. Are you wanting out, dear? What you doing, Penny? Anyway, Steve Hunter was talking about how you would, about every week or so, have to bang the telephone because the carbon within, which was used to, generate sounds and things and signals and stuff, wasn't supposed to just be continually hearing one tone. So it would get kind of clogged up. So every week or so, you literally had to take the phone out of the modem, bang it on the table, probably harder than that, loosen up the thing, and then the carrier strength would be greatly improved. But I do remember Richard saying that he had installed a iPenny, some sort of amplification to help with the carrier strength. And this would be this rig. It would also, I bet you there's more to this, I think. I've got it, anyway, I will dig in the box and see what I can find. But there is more to it. Now, this too, this is an answer circuit in a box with a power supply attached. At least I think it's attached. Yes, power supply goes in, cables come out, there is an edge connector that would go to the user port. What is this? Oh, and this modem was modified, so it was mostly intact, but there were plugs well, certainly this one plugged in, and there's an extra switch here. I'm not sure what the blue one is for. Oh, look, dead rubber band. another part of a dead rubber band. I will look and see what else is in the box. Yes, so yes, this used an external power supply. It's one of those good ones that has different voltages. I'm sure it is set on the one it's supposed to be set on. I'm not going to try and diddle around with it right now. It has phone line things for in and out, and a bypass of sorts. That I will have to look at all that this is, and at some point maybe even try and hook it up and make it go. I think, oh, more part of it. Hello, Penny. What you doing, Penny? So this is another thing. So basically what we have here are two different answer circuits and two different modems. Both would have been used on the bulletin board. Now what else lurks in this box? Alrighty, this is a power supply. And if I'm not mistaken, yes, it would be a power supply to go with, I don't know, this second modem. What else do we have? Another small power supply. Of which I have no clue what this is for. I do not. I don't, and I'm not going to start plugging things in hoping that I find the right thing. Let me check on this. AC adapter. 9 volts.